Hello, let's get started. So, hey, welcome back to Python Zero to Hero. So it's a new year, a new topic, and actually, it's not a new topic. I think I've covered something like that before, but yeah, I'm doing something recently about this, so I'm going to revisit it and actually have a look around what's inside Python. There's always something like exciting to discover with Python, so I'm sure that this will be a great one. So without further ado, I would just open a terminal, and you'll see why. So yep, I am actually like if you have watched my stream on Thursday, you know that I have actually try to extract all the doc strings from the Python client. And actually it's like a fun thing to do because I got to go through like all these Python objects and Python module and see like what's inside and how it is structured. So yeah, so let's do that. So of course I would go to Python and let me check whether you can see it all right. So yeah, so that's so far so good. And okay, so what I'll do is that I'll import our client as TDB because it's a database, right? So yeah, it has been imported. So what we can do now is that we can actually check out what's inside it. So yeah, you see that actually we got a few things here. We got we got like these actually are the classes that I've created. So you can see that it's very interesting because we got some of these are the files. So this is like, for example, Waco Client.py. So no, actually, sorry, it's a folder. So it's like kind of is how can I draw a tree diagram? So basically, what you have is that we have terminus DB client as the top folder here, and then underneath we have all these different folders. So it's like Waco utils, Waco client, Waco data frame, Waco query, and Waco view. So these are all the subfolders inside the terminus DB client folder. And then all of these actually got an init.py in it. So actually these are some modules underneath, right? So actually if you dir and check it out, and you'll see that like all these are some modules. But there are these like classes that ignore this built-in stuff for a bit. So like, but look at all these sub I mean, like these are Python class that I have to declare inside all these. So within all these subfolder, inside there's like different Python file, and inside there's like different classes that I have just import using the init.py in all these subfolders. So that's why they're actually the top level because I've imported them using within init.py. I wish I could show you that. There's something like that I've overseen. Sorry about that, but I don't know whether I can show you the source code. Maybe let me see if I can check it out. So let's do a dir and then tdb, because I believe you can do like anything within Python, right? So let's see if we can do this. And you see inside, yeah, we have the Waco clients that we have basically import in it. Of course, there's also like all these are different Python files that now you can see here. I do believe the Waco client is in Waco client. So let me do a so we are just like peeling an onion. I always think that it's like it's kind of like an exploration. That's why it's so exciting to do. So TDB and then Waco client. I can use tab as well, which is amazing. I don't know, like this is just like using your it's just like using your what should I say, shell to like export. So okay, so this is Waco client. You can see this is a capital C here. It's actually a camel case, which is a bit unconventional, but it's fine. Let's have a look. So this is the Python file. So it's like Waco client.py here, and inside you see that we have all these different type of things. So within the file, we have we have all these different classes. So we have Waco client, and inside, because in the file I have import Waco query, so it's also contain Waco query, which is very interesting. But how about let's go from here and see what we have here. So what I would do is that I would check the package. So dir. So now it's getting more and more tedious. Yeah, but it will be fun, trust me. And then, yep, we have Waco Client, and now let's check out the package. See what's inside. I have no idea. Actually, I've never checked that before. I've checked some of these, but not everything. So today it'll be more fluid, that like we basically check everything, what's inside of these things, and what does that mean. So let's check package, and we have, whoa, we have million stuff. So these are all the stuff inside the package, and you can see that we have, okay, this is very interesting because these look like built-in function for me. Is space, is title, civil, like this looks like the built-in functions that I have called in the script. So that's very, very interesting. I wish I could show you the script, but I haven't put it in this Jupyter notebook, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky of showing it. But yeah, but we will just keep on doing like until I got really annoyed and I really want to do that. But anyway, so inside package we got all these stuff. So like capitalized. So yeah, these for me it looks like they are all like built-in functions. So how about we look at count, right? So yeah, it looks pretty simple, but we'll see what's inside. So this count should be a function, right? So we could check the class. So this actually show you what type of thing this count is. So yeah, you can see that we are basically going like deeper and deeper here. And then, okay, what we have now. So we have all these stuff. We have the class, and inside we have another class, which is very interesting. So what we can do, actually, like we can call the, I think, what we can do is that, so this is another class object. So this is, I think what I should do is that I should just call the class here instead of doing dir. So you can see what class this actually is. So it's it's a built-in function or method. So my guess is correct. So this thing here, this count within this package and within this file, actually this is a built-in function that I've used in the file, I believe. So yeah, so you can see this is what it is. Right, okay, so let's go back and check out the Waco client, shall we? So let's see what we have here. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult to see, but yeah, I'll try to, I'm missing, yep, now you can see these are the ones that we got. So let's have a look. So we do have a list, optional tuple. So for me, it looks like these, again, like this look like the classes that I've used. So that's why it's included in the Waco client, because I have imported them at some point. Yeah, these are the things that we have import within Waco client. So it become a, yeah, some of them are class, of course, like Waco client is a class, and tuple. So this is, you see this all cap, right? So Waco all cap, this is actually the class we have at the top level. So this is actually a class. That's how I can tell. Yeah, and so union, these are also classes. So let's have a look. So if I do this, right? Actually, I don't want the dir, so let me change that. Yeah, sorry, I have a stomach ache for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm like actually feeling not very well. So yeah, this is from typing. So this tuple, it must be from the type hinting that we have. We have actually import tuple in the type hinting. So from typing, we have import tuple. That's why we have it here. Any as well, I do believe. Binary, yeah. So yeah, that's quite straightforward. What we can see as well. So there's also like copy JSON. So JSON and OS, I believe, is the built-in package from the standard library. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, so it's a module. Yep. So it's a module that we have import, and it's from the standard library. So because it's a package, basically the init.py is, well, it's JSON, but still it's like under Python 3.7. So it's a standard library. So it's not installed in other places, but it's in it's a standard library. I wonder, right, whether we have another thing. So, okay, so let's go back because I want to see one that is not in the standard library and see how it looks like. So let's go back to dir tdb, and now let's have a look at what do we have? We have Waco data frame. How about that? I know that we're using Python in that one, so let's have a look. Yeah, so here we're using pandas, right? So we should have pandas, I think. Nope. Okay, one of the reason maybe because I've put that in a try, so maybe that's why it's not in there. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's try. Oh, that's going to be difficult. It's not in clients. Yeah, so it's very interesting that like if it's not a built-in function, it's not directly in there. So maybe my guess is I may be wrong. That because it's if it's not a built-in function that I mean a built-in module, so it will basically execute on request. So for example, if I import pandas, so when I run it, for example, run the library, then it will try to look for pandas. If there's no pandas, then there will be an error, right? So, but it should not be the case because like pip should handle that for me. If there's a dependency, pip should install that one. So also I think it's also applied to request. So where is request sitting? It's very interesting. It's not in here. It's yeah, I think it will be called upon request because it's external and it's not built in. So it will be called upon request. So that's why if you messed up your installation, if you don't use pip or something, if you just like, or if I package it up and I forgot to put it in the requirement, then if someone or if I put it in an optional requirement like this pandas here, if I put it because I put it in an optional requirement, so if someone doesn't have it when I really call it, then there will be a warning or there will be an error message coming up. So it's basically, I think, that is import upon execution. So that's why. Okay, so what else do we have? Let's see. Okay, so let's go back to TDB and see what we have here. Or the built-ins. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. Yep. So we do have quite a lot of things in there. But what is this thing? This thing, like, I mean, without the arrow, it's okay. So this is all the copyright messages. Ooh. Okay. So what is this? Oh my God. What are these things? Whoa. So okay, we have name. So it's a dictionary. So name there's like built-ins, docs, built-in function, exceptions. Okay. So okay, so if I ask for the documentation of built-ins, it would say that built-in functions, exceptions, and other objects noteworthy. So basically, it's explaining something about the built-in functions, and there's the spec. So basically, it's kind of a built-in module within like that's called built-in. And it kind of includes all this stuff. So I think these are all the built-in functions definition, is it? ABS, so it's a built-in function ABS, so it knows that when I see the keyword ABS, so whenever in your Python script, when you type ABS, which is a name of a built-in function, but how do Python know that is a built-in function? Is defined here. That you can see that ABS actually means that function here. Of course, this function is not in a human readable format. That's why I just print this kind of like arrow bracket strange thing here. But actually, it means that there is actually a function, and the string ABS form a key value pair inside this dictionary. It's fascinating. I like there's some like built-in functions that you never use, like OCT here. I do believe it's like actually a you know, octos kind of like something weird, like representation of a number or something like that. Oh my god, like, yeah. Whoa, eliminate, yeah, all this stuff, int. Whoa. So basically you can change that if you create a function and you actually like you can hack Python if you are skillful enough to like change that. For example, like range is actually mean class range, but like, I'm sure that if you create an object and then you can have your own definition if you change this. If you basically mess around with this built-in, because this built-in here actually is a dictionary, you can actually add a add an extra key value pair in there, and then you can have your own built-in function, your own built-in function. It's insane. Um, yeah, key error. So yeah, it's a key error. So all this error though. Yeah, okay. Whoa. And what's this stuff at the end? Opened built-in function, quit. Ah, and exit. So if someone typed quit without the quotation, basically it would prompt this message, I guess. Or someone type exit. Okay. Whoa. Okay. And then when it exit, it will print all this stuff, right? To exit, and then copyright. If I type copyright, I should get all these things, right? So let's try that. So copyright. Yep, I do get all this stuff. So if I type exit without the bracket there, then actually I get this message. But how does it know? Okay, how does it know that, okay, so what's the difference between like exit with the bracket and exit without the bracket? Huh. Very interesting, because like all this stuff actually a map to a function, but all, like but the others this a map to a message. This is so bizarre. Um, yeah. Maybe in Python it's like maybe a topper level, then I would see that basically exit itself is not a built-in function, but exit bracket is something Python as an application will recognize and terminate itself. So it's something that is not even a built-in function, it's something special. So this exit here, this is not a built-in function. It's something like more high level. That's my speculation. Whoa. Okay, new discovery. That's really good. So again, let's explore other crazy stuff that Python offer. Okay. So what else? We have looked at the built-ins. This full of all these like crazy built-in function inside. And okay, mind blown. What about cached? Okay, so yeah, I feel like we are really like doing something dangerous here. We know like we are learning how to basically hack Python now. Okay, so cache. Okay, where do the cache file is stored? So yeah, basically it just holds a URL or like a path that where the cache is stored. This is normal. I've seen this before. If you have a project, and then if you for example, like of course I have a folder for this like Terminus DB client, but inside once I have basically install it or something, then you see the PyCache sitting somewhere. Yeah, because I do a local install, right? So I just install this because I'm developing it. So and then I'll see the PyCache right in my folder. This is what it is. But here it seems not the case, because I think this is not a local installed one in this environment. So that's why it's sitting actually at my site pack. So anything you pip install is sitting at this site pack here, and then you will see a PyCache. So yeah, this is how it got cached, and then like so whenever you call something, it's actually run faster. It will just like run all these like pre compile, I would say. Like, well, of course Python doesn't compile, but like if you have package, and I think yeah, here's like because it's PYC, so it has been compiled by a C compiler. So you can pre-compile Python script, right? Because you can change Python script into C and then you can compile it. So yeah, it's just making everything a little bit faster. That's good. Good to see. Docs, I think it's just the documentation of your package. I don't know whether I have anything in there. I'm a bit uh, yeah, there's nothing there. I think if you want it, you have to write a doc string in your init.py, I believe, but I didn't do anything there, so there's nothing here. Maybe I should put something in, so in the future, so I can see it. So how about file? I do believe this is the path to this. This should be this path that where I install my. Yep, that's where the init.py is sitting. Good. Okay, loader. Okay. So you can see that for a package to work, you have to have all these stuff, right? You have to tell Python that where this package is sitting, where's the init.py, where's the cache stuff, where's all these things are sitting. So that's what this is for. For loader, it is a frozen import library source file load object. So it's an object. Again, I think something kind of similar to cache is kind of an object that is pre-processed. So every time when you load in the source file, it's a little bit faster. So I don't know too much about it. So let's skip over. It's a bit of a mystery there. Okay, so name, it's the name of your package. What about package? I think it's the same thing, right? Yep. And the path, again, path should be the path of your package, which is is here. It's where your init.py is located. And then we have spec. So just quickly have a look at all these things. So these are the top level package, right? And then we will see what a class would have, what a function would have, and we'll see those. So this is the spec, and it's kind of like a bunch of meta information. You have all this path, you have all this loader thing, so it's a module spec here. I think it's something that is got it's got built by the setup.py, I do believe. Versions, you can check what version you have. This is very useful because versions, is it like module version from? Okay, it's a module, but I think what I can do is that I can do a str, right? So nope. Okay, so I think, oh yeah, it's version.py, I see. Okay, so it's version.py. So I think when you do a I forgot how to do that. db.version. Oh no, you can't do that. It's not callable. It's a module. Okay, so what's inside here? Because it's a version.py, I know that it's a Python file. Yep, inside. Okay, inside there's another thing called version. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, maybe it's like that. Yep, so now you can see the version. So maybe the init.py really need to import versions from version because I have to do this crazy stuff here, version, because version is a module itself, and then inside is version. Of course, you can write your version in your init.py, but I think there's a reason why I didn't do that. I think it's something to do with documentation, or when we build the thing, it's more convenient doing it this way, but it kind of makes it a little bit weird. But usually you can have, for example, if you import pandas, let's say, so you can do pandas version. Usually you can check a version of a library like that, but I think for Terminus DB client is a bit weird. We may fix that, but we may not. We'll see why we did it in the first place. Maybe, there must be a reason why we did it that way. We need to find a way to do that. So do it properly, I would say. So let's check with we have checked all this stuff. Yeah, we have checked everything. So this is basically what you would have if you have a module, a package, or whatever you call it, that you have imported. That would be like that. Of course, for pandas, that would be more. Yeah, let's see. Let's compare. Pandas got loads of stuff. Yeah, it will have like all the like is all or of its like its own like data type classes. Um, this is the same, right? This is all the built-in function. These are the same, but this is okay. This is internal functions, and there's like all these different methods that you can call, like pandas.array. Um, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So this is like how a big library would look like. So that's why I use TDB as an example, because I know what's inside and it's like relatively smaller. Um, yeah. Okay. So we do have. So let's go back to TDB, and then we have all these different things. So we can. I think we was looking at one of the modules. So yeah, again we do TDB dot. Let's have a look at Waco query this time. So inside you also have, so it's a submodule, right? Like I said, it's also got like all these things that we had for a module. So basically it's the same, but the only difference is that the path will be different. For example, yeah, the path of it will be different because this thing should be sitting. You can see that it's undetermined DB client, so inside there's a submodule here. Okay. Yeah. And then of course it got its own init.py. If you check file, then you will see the init.py there. Yeah. So that's it. But that's not the end of this tutorial. I know that we still have time, so let's check one of the class that we have. So how about we check the Waco query class? We do have a lot of things in there. So like I said, this is a class inside. So also okay. So before we do that, we actually can check each file, right? So this is again. These will all be kind of look similar because this is also a submodule. Because each Python file is actually a submodule as well. Yeah, you can see it's similar, right? We do have these stuff are like defined by us, so it's nothing different. Yeah, we do have this class, and then these are all these like standalone functions here. Yeah, but these will be the same because each Python file actually are treated as a submodule. So if it's a folder, if it has a init.py, it will be treated as a submodule. Each Python file, each something.py will be also treated as a submodule. So, but since we have import Waco query in the init.py of this Waco query folder, like this subfolder here, and also we import that from the init.py at the top level, so we can access it by tdb.wacoquery. Waco query here, and then we want to look at what's inside. So let's do a dir again. Oh, I haven't explained. So for people who I haven't, who missed my previous tutorials, dir is just let you look at what's inside Python module or a Python object. So I got lots of things here, but you can see this is like all these underscore things are typical for a class. Yeah, all this dunder thing, right? We call that dunder method. Yeah, it will get interesting very soon. So these are the built-in one for classes. So if we look at, for example, if we look at the class, you will see that we would actually have a type object. So type object itself, so for example, this one, and then is a type. But if we look at the object itself, okay, yeah, so it's kind of like it will go endless because this thing here is a type object. So a type object's class is also a type object. So the type object is actually the ultimate type you can have. So for example, a number, it's an integer. An integer is a type object, and a type object is a type object. and it's a type object. It's a type object. So yeah, so and then it kind of ends there because it just go back to itself. So you can't really like, well, you can literally go like endless, asking what's the type object of a type object, but you always get type object, and then you ask the same question, the result would, like, the answer will be the same, right? So yeah. Okay, so that's what class is. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of a bit lost. Sorry, it's okay. Let's slowly. Okay, yeah. So we have add. So add is just mean that when you have the plus sign, what's going to happen? I think I've overloaded this one before. So if we look at it, it should be a yeah, it's a function, and it's a function that I've written before. So you can actually, like, it just tell you, yeah, you can write a function to override that. So whenever you use the plus sign, it would basically execute that function you have defined. But if you didn't do that, it would just use a default one. For example, if you have integer 1 plus 1 equals to 2, that's numerical summation, and that's already built in. You don't have to write your own add function, add method, because that would be crazily difficult. It may involve some kind of binary things that's a bit crazy, but you don't have to do that. We have built-in stuff. So delete attribute, again, like these are all these like Boolean methods that is in a class. So doc is a doc string, equal, again, format is something a bit different. We can have a look, but I think there's nothing here for now. Yeah, it's just like a method, so I rarely use it, so I really don't know what it does. You can look at the documentation to see what it is. Okay, so so this is greater or equals to, I think, yeah, get attributes. So these are all these like thing. There's a built-in method. I don't think there's something special. I think this is the representation. So you see all this like crazy bracket stuff. This is the representation of it. So if I do a is it query PR? Yeah, it's a slot wrapper. So it's just some kind of special of object. Yeah, kind of some special wrapper. Okay, module. Okay, module. What do you have in a module? Reduce. Oh, I think this is like mod. Yeah, so if you have like division that you want to take the modular, I think this is actually what it is. Size of. Okay, size of. I think it's when you have an integer, you can have a size of, for example, size of 1. Then, oh, it's not defined. Oh, okay, so maybe I can have a. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, so it's a method, I think. And then why I can't do that, because one doesn't have. So what I have to do is I have to create an object. Basically, TDB the Waco query. So I create a query object, right? So now I can do a size of object. Nope, can't do that. Okay, so what? I think AI may not call size of, but okay, so maybe, okay, I will hack around it. I would do it like obj dot size of obj self. No. Yeah, okay, now I can see that. Yeah, so a Waco object is actually 32. The size is 32. I think it's 32 bytes or bits. It's a byte. I have no idea. I am horrible at computer science, actually, so I have no idea. Yeah, but basically that's the size. I don't know the unit. It's bit, I guess, or byte. I have no idea. I have to look it up. So yeah, and string, again, is like a representation of it. You can define your own instead of that like kind of interesting kind of bracket thing. Because like now if you type obj, yeah, it will give you this like bracket thing, right? What you can do is that you can override it if you define stir to be different, you have a different thing. Oh, yeah, but yeah, but it would now just print out something like that. But you can change that. Um, okay, so subclass hook. Okay, this is more interesting. I have no idea what this is. Subclass hook. I think there's nothing here now because like I don't have a subclass, but if it has a subclass, maybe you can see something different with this one. Um, weak reference. What's that for? Weak reference. OBJ. Now I can use OBJ. It's more convenient. Nothing. Let just be sure. Waco query. Dot weak reference. Attribute. Yeah. So that's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing for the object, so there's no reference of it. I think, yeah, it. Hmm, I'm curious about this stuff, so let's see if I can find anything in the documentation. Okay, that reference or the weak reference to the current object. Well, it doesn't explain a lot, does it? Both a weak reference. Yeah, what is a weak reference? I think it's like when you call a function, you can name it as a different thing inside a function, right? So I think this is something to do with that. Alternative weak reference will construct mapping that doesn't keep the object alive. Okay, an image object is a value. The last remaining reference. Which object is a weak reference? How about a weak mapping? So there's some mapping involved, and then it's something to do with garbage collecting. So okay, so let me explain. I'm not an expert, but usually what happens is that when you run some program, uh, you create all this object, and then yeah, so it's like implement caches. So if you have this big object, and then you are kind of holding some space in your memory that I'm storing my object there. So after your program has done the job, you don't need this anymore. You don't need this object anymore. But basically, it's just sitting there forever. And then, because there's no way of knowing that I don't need that anymore. Because sometimes when you delete it, it's actually not being deleted. It's just like, the link from the program to this address. We just cut off the link. And there's no way of freeing up the space. So that's why we need garbage collecting, and then having this weak reference, I think it's a help in kind of finding this space that has been occupied, and you can release it afterward. But of course, it's something very complicated. I'm not an expert, so I won't do too much explanation because I may be wrong. So yeah, but garbage collection is very useful, especially when you're handling um, a for example, data handling, that you may actually use a lot of space in storing your data. And then once you have done your job or your calculation, you may want to move it to somewhere, like to a more kind of permanent storage for your data. Then you want to free it from your RAM, then that may be useful. So, so that's that. Okay, so what else do we have? Yeah, we just ignore this stuff, like those that start with an underscore is just some internal functions that we have written. So every package will just have their own, so don't worry about that. Same as these ones, they are just like methods that we have written. So yeah, it's nothing very interesting in what we're doing right now. So but we have looked at all of them. Yeah, kind of basically. I think it's just the subclass hook we haven't. So maybe what I'll do is, again, I will have a look at what is it. Stack Overflow. So there's someone answering a question. So okay, it's something related to abstract-based class. Yeah, like I said, I think it's something to do with the subclassing. So because we didn't do it here in this class, so basically I don't think we'll see anything interesting there. It would just be none, I think. Yeah, it's something to do with the subclass. Maybe we can talk about the abstract-based classes next week. So hint, hint. If you like it, let me know. I would definitely talk about that, so we can have more exploration to do next week. So we have a little bit of time left. So quickly look at one functions or method that we have. Then we'll call it a day. So let's look at one of the methods. For example, this abstract method. So let's look at that. Okay, so what we want to do is to create an array. Of course, this is a method, right? But what's inside a method? So you will see that this is your typical method. You have all this stuff. There's a whole lot to see. One thing I want to draw your attention is that I can sorry, my stomach is hurting again. Looks like I'm like in pain. Yeah, that's why. So yeah, it's a function. So it's a method, but at the same time, Python will see it as a function. So it's a function. So we can look at annotations. What annotations do we have? And there's nothing. Yeah, just I will just ignore it for now. Yeah, we just have a quick look of what we have, and then okay. So this is a method wrapper of the call. Yeah, again, like we can have a deeper look if we want to, but I think what's more interesting is the code here. Yeah, sorry, I'm skipping all over because I've looked at it before, so I kind of know what's interesting, what's not. So yeah, it's a code object. So well, so far it looks like there's nothing, right? But if we do a little bit of dir, actually, I would just recycle this here. You will see what I mean. So here, actually, there's a bunch of things in the code as well. First thing you can see is that we have also the class. It would just be a code object, so I'm not looking at it. But what we have is that you look at all this CO stuff. These are all the interesting stuff we have here. For example, okay, I would have a look at the CO arc count. So as you can guess, it's actually how many arguments is it taking? It's take 3. So I believe abstract. Yeah, we have. Well, maybe we'll have look at. Let's look at something that's more obvious because I can't really remember what abstract has. Let's look at opt. No. Okay. Let me pick a better one. Okay, at triple. So or triple. Yeah, let's look at triple. So triple, as you can tell from the name, it will take 3 things, right? But it's 5 because I think we have south, and then we have, what's the last thing that we have? Maybe some kind of it's like, is it optional? So yeah, we have a flag that you can also put in to see if this triple is optional or not. So yeah, we do have like 5 arguments. So surprise, surprise. What's the other thing that we can have? We can have a class with stuff or boolean count, coin card cast. Yeah, so yeah, so you can see if you look at the source code, you will see yeah, you will see whether it is. So why we have the true here? Okay, plus. Okay, so let's look at another one that's worth looking at is and. So Waco and actually would take in any number of argument. So actually, argument is just one, which is self. But like I said, well, Waco and actually take in any number of arguments. So it doesn't make sense. Well, it will when we look at which one shall we look at? Well, if we look at okay, I'm looking for it. Keyword only arguments, I think. I do believe. Let's have a look. And then here. Oh, nope. Nope. I don't know which one is it, but yeah, we let it take any number of arguments. So I think, yeah, so that's why the R count is 1 here because it's only counting south. Maybe south, farce. Okay, let's look at these one by one to see whether we can find it or not. So, yep, there's nothing in here. There's not south, farce. Let's look at the code here. It's too many C. Yeah, so this is the bytecode. like, yeah, this is the bytecode. So yeah, like this is a binary string actually. So yep. So these a bit crazy. So yeah, so this is, you'd be like expecting to see, oh, does it print out the code? No, it's just a bunch of yeah, bytecode here. Um, but I think, yeah, it's a code object, so I don't know whether you can actually print it out as a human readable format. It'll be awesome if we could do that. Um, okay, so this is what inside a code object, and then let's see if we can get a clue of whether we can print it out as a human readable format. I don't see anything though. Maybe decode. Let's find out. Um, yeah, I don't think that would do a lot, but this is really, well, this is addictive. I mean, like, I can do this all day. It's a Builtin method. Okay, so what we can do is to see if we can decode it. And then it's not defined. Oh, I know why. Because, yeah, because it's like it's a binary string here. So yeah, I think it's just decoding this binary string. That's why. Yeah. So I think what you can do is to, yep. Yeah, it would be just like decoding the binary string. I think that's why. Can't be decoded. Yeah, it can't be even. Yeah, it can't be decoded for some reason. I think because it's not a normal binary code. It's something that Python uses internally. Um, yeah. Okay, so this is just like what you would have in a binary string. So okay, so we just look at something else. We have we have the code. We have the first line number. We have the file name with the constant. I don't think we have any constant in the Waco, and yep, the code. If we look at here on constants, oops. Oh yeah, created. So this is docstring actually. This is a docstring, and it is treated as a constant because I think it's because, yeah, I think it's because um yeah, for some reason docstring is treated as constant. I just don't know how to explain it, but yeah, so this is the docstring, and then we have a type, and or is it inside the docstring? Waco query, Waco query list. Yeah, yeah, I think this is the docstring. Interesting. But what is this? A type and Waco and args. Oh, this one must be the, yeah, this is, okay, this is, basically, this is the, why does it treat as constant? I thought this is variables. These are the variables that we use inside the code. But it's inside constants. Okay. It's good to know. It's interesting. Okay. What else do we have? Code names. So there's flag, there's file name. I don't think file name will do a lot, but let's see. Dot code. Yep, it just show that where it is sitting. So it's the file that is just sitting. So it's like Waco query.py. Okay. Okay. What else? First st first line number. Okay. So what will it give me? Okay, so this is this. So when I declare this Waco, and I believe if you look at the source code, you can, like, we can actually have a quick check in GitHub actually. And then can I just go to? Oh, I actually have the link there. Okay, doesn't matter. So here, if we look at that file, let's have a quick look. So that's query, and that's query. Oop, Waco query. Come on. and then 680. So 680. I don't know whether you can jump to the line. If you know how to jump to the line in GitHub, let me know. Because it's quite slow here. 680. Yep, Waco N. You see? Haha. So this is how you can find it. So for example, if you kind of get stuck with a for example, like a method in pandas, you can actually find the first line of a method in pandas and look it up in GitHub. Well, of course, it's quicker if you do a search in GitHub, but this is one way of doing it if you fancy. That's very interesting. Oh my god, you can look at like where's the source code. I'm getting excited. Okay. The flags, I think it's nothing here. 71. Oh, it may be some flags that's used by Python internally, so it will mean something. I think if we Google it, so Python flags 71. So maybe we can find it. Yeah. So there's like some code type flag. So Jython. What? Okay, so it's like, yes, there's no straightforward answer to that, but yeah, but I do believe it means something in a Python bytecode. So let's not go too deep, otherwise we'll just spend all day looking at it. Right. So flags, co. I don't know what's like something about the variables for sure. Um, Free variables, no, nothing. Okay. Uh, and we have seen this. There's nothing in there. Okay, 9 number tabs. Maybe it shows you like what level it is in, because like anything is about tab. Okay. Whoa. Again, this is something that I can't decode. I'll just skip over it. Name. We're almost there. We're almost there. So, I think yeah, it's just Waco. And how about names? And then, oh, it's a namespace. This is the namespace, I think. Yeah. Um, all right. This is what we have inside. What namespace we have inside the code. We have called these. These are methods like get, cursor. I think we have called them. List is just list, like the Builtin function list. Waco query, of course. We have to generate some other Waco query object, I think. Yeah. So these are the namespace. Like basically, these are all objects within this code. So. Okay, let's look at what else we have before we end this episode. This is super interesting. Local, so number of locals. Local variable, I believe, or local object. Do we have a list of local objects? That would be more clear. Stack size and variable names. Okay, we'll just have a quick look and we'll see. Stack size 6. I don't know what that means, but I think judging by the name, it may be how many layers does it have. Like, so it's kind of like if it call another function or another method, it create another stack, a layer of stack, I think. But I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it. I don't know. So if you're interested, you can do some research about it. I'm sure that there will be someone answering this question somewhere online. Covar. So yeah, these are the variable names. These are the variables inside the code. So we have self, of course, self and args. Args is actually the thing that we take in. So args is actually a list that we take in. Okay, so maybe this one is not included self. So when we look at how many variables, so maybe it doesn't count self. It just count everything as args, which is a list. So that's why you can look at all these, like you can have any number of variables, and then you just like, it could be like a lot, then it's a big list of arguments. Queries, I think it's something that we created, a variable that we created. Items. So what's the difference between namespace? I think namespace, these are all callables, and these are just like variables. So yeah, these are the difference. Yeah, these are just like variables. These are callables. So this is why they're namespace. And we also have constants, which is a bit strange for me, but yeah, I don't know why there's like 0 is also a constant. Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, we do have quite a few constants there. Um, and Waco args, query list, Waco query. Yeah, these for me is a bit. Oh yeah, these. Oh, oh. Okay, maybe these are strings. Like that's why it's a constant. Okay, maybe these are strings that we have used actually in the code. Actually, we can have a look since we now have GitHub. So yeah, okay, this is obviously a string, right? The doc string, so that's why it's a constant. And then yeah, we do have type. Okay, these are strings, yes. Okay, so that's why they're constants. And then 0, of course. Okay, so these are all the constants that we have. Okay, now the mystery is solved. And we do have the namespace. We have these like curses. We have all these like list and get, all these things that we have called from dictionary. And of course, we also have variables, which is self and queries and index. This all okay. So basically, just from like all this stuff that we have a look at the code, we actually can tell a lot about the code, even though like we can't really decode all this binary stuff. We can already tell a lot about the code that we have, and this is amazing. Like, so yeah, sometimes like I don't know when you found it useful, like when you would look at it, but I think maybe when you have to look at it, actually it is quite fascinating. So yeah, the only useful thing I think is like this one, like you can actually find where the source code is and like where you can see the code, if it's open source and if it's online. Actually, you can even open that. It would be a file that's sitting in your computer somewhere, and you can open that file and look it up. Even someone doesn't host it on GitHub, they just, well, I don't know why they don't, but they publish something like some Python package, and then you can basically look at what it is inside. So yeah, I think that's it. It's 3 already, my time. So I think that's it for this week. And so next week we may look at the abstract class. We can do more like kind of theoretical, oh, so difficult to pronounce, theoretical Python stuff this month, I think. I feel like doing it because we spent a lot of time at the end of last year talking about web development, but it's good to do something else as a change, and I think I really enjoy looking at this crazy stuff. Yeah, like I said, I always fascinated by Python because everything is an object. You can basically peel it open and see what's inside. For me, it's always like archaeology or something like that. You can discover things. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. Next week we could maybe explore a little bit more about the abstract classes, because actually I did open this type thing in the Python documentation. This is another thing that fascinates me, but I don't have time to go through them. So yeah, so maybe next week we'll see if we have time to talk about them. Um, so yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it, folks. um, so enjoy the rest of the day, rest of the week, or whatever, wherever you are. Stay safe, and I will see you in a week's time. Okay, bye.